All right, Al, thank you very much. Now, a controversy that's getting a lot of attention in Washington. Did the Obama administration leak classified information about the killing of Osama bin Laden to Hollywood filmmakers? NBC's Kristen Dahlgren is following that story for us. Kristen, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Yeah, we're talking about this as yet untitled film by Oscar winner Kathryn Bigelow. It details the hunt for Osama bin Laden, but some in Washington now say the Hollywood version may contain a little too much truth.
Hollywood has long had a love affair with war movies.
I'll see you on the beach.
But when word surfaced that Hollywood had set its sights on last year's Osama bin Laden raid, some in Washington, led by New York Republican Peter King, claimed the filmmakers were leaked top-secret information. The new film is from the duo best known for the Oscar winner The Hurt Locker, director Kathryn Bigelow and screenwriter Mark Boal. When a New York Times column suggested the filmmakers were being given top-level access to the most classified mission in history, amid reports that Boal gained access to a high-level CIA ceremony honoring the unidentified SEAL team that killed bin Laden, King sent a complaint to the CIA and Pentagon demanding an investigation. On Wednesday, the White House denied any wrongdoing.
And those days with folks involved in making this film or writing books or articles or doing TV pieces, we said all the same things, and none of it was classified.
The film was slated to be released in October, and Republicans worried it would help President Obama's re-election bid. Bigelow openly supported him in 2008. The movie's release has since been pushed back to after the election. In a statement, the producing duo called the bin Laden raid an American triumph, claiming, quote, "There is no basis to suggest that our film will represent this enormous victory otherwise."
Still counting.
Retired Marine Captain Dale Dye is a military advisor for Hollywood and has consulted on and appeared in more than 100 movies and TV shows. He finds the idea of top-secret leaks more likely in the movies than real life.
I think the risk that classified material was formally shared with filmmakers, whether it's Kathryn Bigelow or anybody else, I think is very, very slim.
Now, the filmmakers pointed out they've been working on this idea for years and they have cooperated with past administrations, but the CIA and the Defense Department are investigating. In a statement, the CIA told us that protection of national security is an integral part of its mission, Matt.
All right, Kristen Dahlgren on this story. Kristen, thank you very much. New York Congressman Peter King is the chairman of the House Committee on Homeland Security. Congressman King, good to have you here.
Matt,
good morning.
Great to be here.
Have you personally seen any evidence that indicates that these filmmakers were given classified information?
I've seen evidence that before they even met with the filmmakers, for instance, there was reports put out by the administration, there were newspaper articles written which did contain classified information. These were mistakes, I believe, made by the administration in leaking it out.
So do you have any evidence that these two filmmakers, Kathryn Bigelow and Mark Boal, have actually talked to someone who's given them classified information?
No, and that's why I asked for the investigation, but it's the Defense Department which did a preliminary investigation, and based on that, now they've decided to do a full investigation, so obviously the Defense Department believes something is there.
You know, obviously there was so much written and said about that raid that killed bin Laden in the days after it went down. In August of 2011, The New Yorker published a very detailed account of that raid titled "Getting Bin Laden." Did you feel there was classified information in that account?
Yeah, I had a former CIA official analyze that for me. There was between 12 and 15 classified pieces of information come out in the New Yorker magazine. The way the helicopters have been modified, the observation posts that we had used, how we had launched prior raids, how many people involved, the weaponry, all of that.
Leaks happen all the time in Washington. We know that. It's like a sieve. Do you think this was an intentional leak to paint the Obama administration in the best possible light? Are you willing to take that leap of faith?
I believe that they were trying to make the Obama administration look good, and I think the mistakes were made. Now, let me say, I was on your show the day after the raid. I give President Obama all the credit for this. He deserves tremendous credit for that raid. I know people in the Situation Room who told him not to go ahead with it, and he did it anyway. This has nothing to do with President Obama.
What about your motivation? Had it been a Republican president who was in office at the time Osama bin Laden was killed, and a movie was to come out that would paint that operation in the best possible light, would you be sitting here today?
Yeah, I would. I have nothing against the movie. I think there should be a movie you made about this. These people performed heroically. The president did the right job. My concern was that in an attempt to ingratiate itself with Hollywood, people mistakenly in the administration would be giving them information they shouldn't have. And the Defense Department appears to agree with me.
We now know that the movie will not be released in October. Right. It'll come out after the election. Would you suggest that the movie must be screened by the military or the CIA before it's released? Would you go that far?
I'm saying that as it's being done, the CIA is going to have someone working with the film. The Defense Department is going to investigate it. Yeah, I don't want anything in there that's going to help the enemy.
Peter King, Congressman from New York.
Thank you.
Congressman, it's good to see you. Thank you. 7:41 up next, the race to the bottom of the abyss. Some amazing new sights deep below the ocean's surface.